What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about Brembo versus Rotora. Which is better? Well, let's get right into the video. So as you know, I've had these Rotoras on for probably about, I want to say 9 months now or so, something like that. And I am glad with this purchase, I will say. Now, when I was looking at these, at first I was looking at the Brembos. And, you know, of course, Brembo is the more popular brand. You see a lot more Brembos than Rotora. And so as I was looking for a big brake system, Brembos just didn't have the complete kit that I was looking for. For example, a lot of companies had the calipers in stock, but they didn't have the complete kit, like the hoses, the brackets, and all that stuff as a complete kit. You had to purchase them separately. You had to purchase the rotor separately or the calipers separately, and so forth and so on. As far as pricing, they're very similar. They range from $3,500 to probably $6,000 almost. So the prices are very similar. As far as the purchase and satisfaction of it, I'm glad I purchased it because this company versus the Brembo, you couldn't get these custom painted to the color that you want. And as you see, I got the sky metallic blue, and these things look awesome. Now with the Brembo, you didn't have the option to get them painted a color you want. They just had like the solid red, the standard red. But the Rotora, they had like probably 12 or 14 different color options that you can choose from. So in that sense, Rotora was definitely the way to go, and I'm definitely glad I purchased the Rotoras. Now, when I purchased them, it did take about 6 months for them to arrive, and that's because it was like at the height of the pandemic. There was all kind of shipping issues, part supplies issues, and they didn't want to send just the rotors and the calipers, you know, without the brackets and everything. They wanted to send the whole kit, and I was fine with that. I wanted the whole kit as one, and that's what they did. I ended up waiting, but the service there, the customer service is excellent. You know, if you have any issues, those guys answer their phone. They're willing to answer any questions you have, any problems you're dealing with. They get the help you need. And so that's the biggest thing. The color options were just not available with the Brembos. And of course, again, Brembo is the more popular brand. You don't see a lot of people with the Rotoras. But I think the Rotora brakes have a much more aggressive look to them. You notice like on the Brembos, they're more rounded off around the top and the bottom. Whereas the Rotora, they have like that, it's like more squared off, like a rugged, more aggressive look. So I think they just look a lot more aggressive than the Brembos. In that sense as well, I'm happy I went with the Rotora. And then the installation is extremely simple, very simple, the way that it's set up. Now, when you go from standard brakes to big brakes, you automatically notice a dramatic difference in the stopping ability, the smoothness of the braking. Everything is just like a complete 180. And for good reason. I mean, they're big brakes. Now, I have the 6-piston in the front, 4-piston in the rear. The rotors are 380 millimeter. And if you guys wanted to know the tire size and everything, these are 22 by 10s. The offset, I believe, is a positive 25.4. And when you're purchasing big brakes, you have to make sure your wheels have enough space for those big giant calipers to fit in there. Otherwise, the calipers won't have enough room and they'll scrape against the inner part of your wheel. So that's a very important part of purchasing big brake kits. You have to have a wheel that's big enough to fit these things in there. That's something you definitely have to keep in mind. These brakes are fully broke in, and they did give you instructions on how to break them in, but I really didn't go through the instructions. It just took a while for me to just break them in normally, you know, and it took about 2 weeks to get used to the adjustment of them because they were real sensitive. Like I'm talking about, as soon as you step on the pedal, it wanted to stop. You know, so they're very sensitive. The first couple weeks you have to get used to them, but after that initial period, you know, the braking period, you know, you'll be fine. Big brakes just totally set off the look of your vehicle. I mean, they just give it the look that it needs. By the way, excuse the dirty ride, guys. I need a wash for sure. Now, there's only downside with the Rotoras, and I believe it's with the Brembos as well, is you can't, for example, you can't go to AutoZone and buy brake pads for these and rotors. You have to have a specific kind of rotor with this plate, this black plate on it, and specific kind of brakes as well, because they won't fit properly. You may be able to fit them inside the caliper, but it won't be 100% snug fit. So you have to order from Rotora their rotors and brakes, the brake pads. All in all, I'm super glad I went with the Rotora. Would I recommend these? Absolutely, 100%. I will say that I'm glad that I went with the Rotora for the simple fact that it came as a complete kit all at once, as well as having the option of the color choice of my choice. Brembo didn't have that, but highly recommended set of brake kits. Definitely glad I went with the Rotora. Well, that's going to end this video, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give the video a thumbs up. Check out my other videos. I got a list of playlists that's in order. You can just click on the playlist, check out all those videos as well. Give them a thumbs up, and make sure you definitely subscribe to the channel. We got more great content on the way. In the meantime, I will see you guys in the next video. Alex is RT Live.